Maverick Vinales, this is failure going into first corner when he had to jump off that Yamaha at about 135 miles an hour, and then the big scare where somehow he and then teammate Valentino Rossi Kane. There's been little drama, we have to say, in the Moto3 and Moto2 races in 2A and 2B. It's been replacing that fast six-gear switch to be on that front row for this 28-lap encounter.
Well, it's been a weekend of big news, hasn't it, in the MotoGP paddock. We had the news on Friday that with 2 races per weekend now in the Premier class of MotoGP, including a half-distance sprint race on the Saturday, we might have something resembling a sprint race in Spain.
Some of the most successful and lauded riders in Grand Prix history on the board there in the tunnel that links the two parts of this Red Bull Ring. We just saw
Martin from the front row of the grid in MotoGP once before, and that was, of course, when he won the opening Grand Prix in Qatar. There is the old turns 9 and 10 at the end of the lap, and then turns 1 and 2A, which led to fears that perhaps 2B, the first left-hander of the lap, could see some cold.
Silverstone, the first time that's happened since we kicked off that COVID-19 delayed start in 2020. Some time information then has reached us here in the comp spot.
That I can see on Ducatis, Miller, Bagnaia, Zarco, Martin, Di Gianantonio, Bastianini and Marini are on the softer front option. Then the rear tyre option, it's a 50-50 split pretty much between the soft and the rear. The Aprilias are all on the softer rear tyre, so too are between the soft and the medium.
Well, this Red Bull Ring circuit, since we came back here in 2016, what an addition it's been to the World Championship schedule. Has been
Ducati have always been incredibly strong at this circuit. An amazing run of results, but this week it's even more.
With a bit of concern, but it looks like we can be competitive also in this condition. It's a very pleasant, let's say, surprise or confirmation to a tradition.
Paolo, I have maybe a difficult question for you. I don't like team orders, you know, from a rider's point of view, but
Have Bagnaia, Bastianini and Zarco, who are still in the fight for the championship, the 3 of them. So be careful among, especially with other Ducati riders, because we don't want that we take out, a possibility there's a chance to win. Just avoid some crazy maneuvers between Ducati riders. That's the only thing we expect from our riders.
Paolo, thank you very much for your
Ferraro and Zarco, Vinales, Mir and Elijah Spargaro are together on row 3. Di Gianantonio, Rins and Binder are on row 4. Marini, Nakagami and Polispo Austrians at the tyre selections. A real mixed bag, but between each manufacturer there seems to be largely consensus, with the majority who's got some motorsport royalty with him. Down to you, Simon.
Yes, I've got Fernando Alonso with me, and Fernando, it's always great to have a legend from another.
I'm enjoying so much. I'm still on holidays. Next week we come back, but supporting all the Spanish riders and in general everyone.
Awesome. I saw you in the Aprilia
For a very long time. We started together in Minardi back in 2001, so it's 21 years that we work together in motorsport, and as you said, it's unbelievable. We're already on Saturday, so we will be all in front of the TV already on Saturday, not only on Sunday, and it doesn't mix maybe the results on Sunday.
Thanks, Simon. Great to hear from double Formula 1 world champion Fernando Alonso. You could tell there how passionate and how much he loves MotoGP. With this sprint race coming next year, he normally dons the old lederhosen, doesn't he, for this part of the world? I just wonder whether he's decided to go bold and embrace the local culture again. Porter's in the crowd. This was the race here last year when the 9 times world champion announced his retirement. Great to see so many fans here packed in the grandstand. I'm told it will be a big ask for Fabio Quartararo to take on the factory Ducatis, but if there's one man that's up for it, it is the Frenchman and the reigning world champion. Let's hear the pre-race thoughts.
You know, it's the second last race before his final one in Misano, so he's just having fun and no pressure, so we hope to steal some points.
47th MotoGP start, and some of the best of them are right here, weren't they? We'll never forget those last lap classics with Marc Marquez in.
And tension is building then. Jack Miller, don't rule him out from the outside of the front row of the grid. You heard confirmation there in the interview just at the start of this to his teammate and to the man who may replace him next season on the front row of the grid.
Got to go all the way back to the French Grand Prix in Le Mans last year for Jack Miller's last Premier Class race on the spin. That honour last went to Australian legend Casey Stoner but can the beast deliver on the big stage here in
Spielberg? But will the Bologna Bullets blast their way to victory? It's an all Ducati front row, Bastianini, Bagnaia and Miller. Martin heads row 2 ahead of the reigning world champ a year ago. The Austrian Grand Prix is coming right up.
The Austrian Grand Prix coming right up, and there's been some significant development, some significant late changes.
Rear, the Ducatis tended to go to the grid, soft front and rear. Quartararo is the main contender, who's now switched from the medium to the hard front.
6 wins, 2 Ducati. They're red-hot favourites here in this 28-lap Austrian Grand Prix. They've locked out the top 4 places. Now Bastianini for the summer break. 91 points he was in the championship. Back off the lead of Fabio Quartararo at that stage, but he's now 42 points behind the Frenchman going into round.
Of course, donning orange for KTM. Who will they be acclaiming as the winner in around an hour's time?
92,000 fans. It sounds like there's 920 since 2016. That's been won by less than a quarter of a second. Are we set for another classic Premier class battle here? Bastianini lines up then for his first. At the back, we are moments away from the start of the Austrian Grand Prix here in MotoGP. We're underway. And there Bastianini got away well from pole position. So did
Good start. Aleix Espargaro was looking at the first 7 or 8 runners, and he was not among them as they come through the first sector. He's battling there with Johann Zarco, who's also gone back.
And Miller, they're still inside that top 3 off the front row.
That's Mir down.
Mir's gone down again. Joan Mir's horrendous.
To the Ducatis, and Maverick Vinales is looking to take away fifth position into turn 9, and he does.
Yeah, Vinales gets through then on this former factory Yamaha team. Martin in 4th place.
Credit to Aleix Espargaro. He's gained ground in the end on that first lap. He lost ground off the line. Of course, Mir crashed down in front of him, but he was speed.
But has he already lost time to get himself in this lead quartet of Ducatis? Bagnaia from Bastianini. We're on board now with Jack Miller down this very...
The Aprilia is pretty good through this 3rd sector of the lap, although Maverick Vinales had struggled a little bit himself to get the best out of those particular left-handers, but they need to try and...
Leads, having got the whole shot from 2nd on the grid. Jorge Martin is the fastest man on the circuit right now, though. His quickest pace at 1:30.364. That was about a...
Paces on the first lap.
Absolutely awesome performance by the South African. Unfortunately, looks like he's surplus to requirements in MotoGP next year. Perhaps a little bit of lucky after some rookie.
So as it stands at the moment, it's a 1.1 second gap back to this man, Maverick Vinales, on the leading factory Aprilia. Last time round he did a 1:30.6.
Mini VR46 rider Luca Marini, who was disappointed not to go through directly into Q2 yesterday. He started 13th. He's got himself up into 9th in the early part of the...
To Aleix Espargaro again, he did a 1:30.158 last time around, so he's really had to work hard for every single position on that opening lap after a disappointing...
Those Ducati squat when they engage that rear ride height device coming out of turn 3 to get the power on, get some, make sure the front doesn't pop up on the, 300 horsepower big. 2023, it's Martin versus Bastianini for the podium here in Austria. It's Martin versus Bastianini for a factory Ducati seat in 2023.
29.9, so Quartararo and Espargaro, although it doesn't favour them this circuit, Kimi could have counted themselves.
Yeah, the fastest man on circuit at the moment, Bagnaia, riding on the absolute ragged edge on that factory Yamaha. He's trying to hunt back now down into on Bagnaia. Zarco just, I thought he was going to power by Aleix
Espargaro and Zarco going through. Zarco was also in the 29s last time round, up behind Aleix Espargaro, 29.985. He'll be so frustrated,
isn't it? As he mentioned, problem stopping in the hard braking zones all weekend. Bastianini tried to go. Quartararo is fighting like a lion here, isn't he? What a job he's doing. He's got through on Bastianini. Bastianini's got a problem. There's a problem here for the Gresini Ducati man, isn't it? What happened at turn 3?